Canada's game changer: how the November 4, 2025 announcement by Prime Minister Mark Carney will redefine the TRPR pathway. Hello, friends, your friendly guide to navigating Canada's immigration updates, and today we're diving into a major shift in the Canadian immigration landscape. On November 4, 2025, under the leadership of Prime Minister Mark Carney, the federal government unveiled a fresh wave of immigration policy changes that are set to significantly impact temporary to permanent resident (TRPR) pathways in Canada. If you're a student, a temporary worker, or simply considering Canada as your future home, this one's for you. Why this matters? Imagine you're working in Canada on a work permit or studying here with the hope of staying permanently. Suddenly the rules change, targets, priorities and eligibility shift. What's your next move? This announcement isn't just another update, it signals a recalibration of how Canada treats temporary residents, how many will be allowed in, and how many will be granted permanent status. If you're in that pipeline, you'll want to know what's changing, how it affects you, and what you now must do. I am going to explain the procedure in this video, and you are requested to be with me till the end of the video, and let's unpack it together. 1. What exactly did Carney's government announce? On November 4, 2025, the Canadian government released the key components of its 2026 to 2028 Immigration Levels Plan, embedded in Budget 2025, under Prime Minister Mark Carney's agenda for immigration reform. The highlights are: a one-time initiative to enable up to 33,000 work permit holders already in Canada, i.e., temporary residents, to transition to permanent residency over 2026 and 2027. A parallel one-time humanitarian pathway for eligible, protected persons in Canada to receive PR status over the next 2 years. Firming up that the total annual target for new permanent residents will be around 380,000 per year from 2026 to 28, essentially stabilizing rather than growing. A significant drop in new temporary resident admissions, students plus workers, from a target of 673,650 in 2025 to about 385,000 in 2026, then 370,000 in 2027 to 28. As part of the shift in temporary resident policy, the government emphasized that temporary foreign workers and students are being more narrowly selected, and that Canada aims to reduce the proportion of non-permanent residents to under 5% of the population by 2027. In short, fewer new temporary residents, stabilized permanent resident intake, and for those already inside Canada on work permits, a special opportunity to convert to PR. 2. How will these changes affect applicants, especially TRPR hopefuls? If you're holding a temporary permit now, or thinking of entering Canada on a study or work permit with a view to PR later, here's what shifts for you. Potential benefits. If you are already working in Canada on a valid work permit, especially in a skilled/labor shortage field, you could be part of the 33,000 who may become eligible for PR under that one-time measure. That means a clearer, faster path to PR than before, in theory. The fact that the government is prioritizing internal transitions, people already in Canada, means being present in Canada, working, paying taxes and proving settlement readiness may give you an advantage. 4. Protected persons, refugees, convention migrants, who already reside in Canada, the pathway may remove long-standing uncertainty and permit earlier PR. This can promote integration and stabilize one's status sooner. Potential challenges. The total number of spots, 33,000, is quite limited relative to the huge number of temporary residents in Canada, workers plus students plus spouses. As per the data, there were over 3 million non-permanent residents in Canada mid-2025. So competition will be intense. With fewer new temporary resident spots, student/work permits, being issued going forward, entry on a temporary basis may become harder, which means planning a TRPR route may get tougher. Stabilizing PR slots at 380,000 per year means growth is no longer assured, so you may face stiffer competition or longer waits. The new focus on roots in Canada, tax, employment, community connection, means that those who arrive and stay only briefly may find themselves behind in eligibility or priority. Impacts by category. International students, with the cap on total new TR entries, students plus workers, and fewer student admissions planned, from 305,900 in 2025 to 155,000 in 2026, the student-to-PR model may become less automatic. Temporary workers, skilled workers already in Canada may have the best shot via the 33,000 spot initiative. But new work permit entrants may face tighter rules, as previously signaled, and fewer permit spots. Spouses or dependents, indirectly affected. If the main applicant's chance of PR changes, the dependent's route may also change. Also, policy hints suggest more scrutiny of spousal open work permits, OWPs, and other dependent routes. Those outside Canada, if you are applying from overseas rather than already in Canada, you may not benefit as directly from the one-time in-Canada transition measure. The overall competition and the reduction of new TR slots will affect your entry path. 3. What is the new process, or likely process, for converting TR to PR under the announced regime? While full operational details are still forthcoming from the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, the announcement signals a set of principles and steps that applicants should prepare for. Here is what Travel Tree expects based on the policy announcement. Step A. Determine eligibility. Ensure you are already in Canada on a valid work permit, or possibly a study permit convertible to a work permit, with strong Canadian labour market ties. Have a record of employment, paying taxes, and contribution to the Canadian labour market/community. The announcement stresses strong roots in their communities for the 33,000 slot group. Be working in a sector or region that aligns with Canada's labour market and regional priorities, rural/remote, sectors with shortages. Maintain compliance with your current status, no serious violations, maintain legal stay. For protected persons, have been recognized as such, residing in Canada, and satisfying whatever additional criteria IRCC sets. Step B. Wait for the invitation/stream to open. The pathway is likely to operate via a targeted intake stream, not a blanket automatic conversion. That means IRCC will announce when applications open, quotas fill, and eligibility windows apply. Expect detailed criteria to be released: occupation list, regional list, minimum period of work, wages, maybe language/settlement factors. Mark that this is one time for 2026 to 27 for the 33,000 slots, meaning if you miss the window, you may not benefit. Step C. Submit application for PR under that stream. Once you receive an invitation or qualify for the stream, you submit your PR application via the new mechanism, likely a simplified or expedited route. Gather documents showing your Canadian work history, tax contributions, proof of residence in your region, valid status, etc. Possibly show intention to settle in a specified region if designated, rural/remote, as required. Step D. Processing and decision. Given the special initiative, IRCC may prioritize these applications for faster processing, part of the rationale behind the budget allocation for this measure. Canada. On approval, you will become a permanent resident, which opens the door to eventual citizenship, subject to residency obligations, and full rights. Step E. After PR status. As a PR, you'll continue to meet residency requirements, e.g., live in Canada for 730 days in the last 5 years, to keep status. You may be able to apply for Canadian citizenship, once eligible. Your dependents, if any, may also benefit via sponsorship or concurrently. 4. Key strategic steps for applicants, Travel Tree's advice. Since change is afoot, here's what you should do now to best position yourself. A. Audit your current status. Are you in Canada on a valid work permit or other legal status? If not, consider options to qualify for one. Ensure your compliance is impeccable, taxes filed, work permit valid, no status violations. Strengthen your Canadian labour market ties. Steady employment, good wage, long duration will matter. B. Choose your sector/region wisely. If possible, target employment in in-demand sectors, healthcare, skilled trades, technology, or regions Canada has designated priorities, rural/remote. This aligns with the Roots narrative. Consider how your employer supports your career in Canada. Stability is key. C. Plan for settlement, not just eligibility. Document your involvement in community, your residence, your intention to stay in Canada long-term. Avoid being purely transient. Canada is signaling preference for residents who integrate. D. Watch for official IRCC stream announcements. Subscribe to IRCC updates and credible immigration news sources. The one-time 33,000 slot pathway will have an opening window. When criteria are released, act swiftly, gather documents, plan for submission. E. For students and new entrants. If you are a student planning to enter Canada soon, note that the total new temporary resident slots are dropping. That means you'll face more competition and must ensure your study to work to PR route is very strong. Get work experience during/after your studies, aim for high-demand occupations, build Canadian ties. 5. Final thoughts. The November 4, 2025 announcement by Prime Minister Mark Carney's government signals a major reset, from a broad expansion of temporary entrants to a more focused, membership-based model emphasizing skills, roots, and Canadian labour market contribution. For temporary residents already in Canada, this could be a rare, golden window to switch to PR. For future applicants, the rules have become more selective, and planning matters more than ever. If you're in the TR/PR pipeline, don't wait. This is your moment to ramp up your Canadian ties, pick your sector/region carefully, and be ready when the window opens. Travel Tree will continue to monitor the detailed guidelines and will update you as soon as IRCC publishes the operative criteria. Don't forget to support Travel Tree channel by subscribing and liking our video.